And we are live. All right. So we're going to give a couple people some time to get in. But before we get started, I have with me the lovely Ashley Watkins. Ashley,
Hello, hello.
Ashley is a LinkedIn specialist. She will help you get your LinkedIn together. Mind you, y'all, she's going to get my LinkedIn together. I hope I measure up right. She'll analyze it, break it down, tell y'all if I did right. I'm doing wrong, and that's okay. You know, we fix ourselves and we work hard on trying to make ourselves even better people. As we continue, as we, talk about what we're going to do, just know that Ashley has some amazing things in store for you all. But before I get there, I want to read her lovely bio to you. So give me 2.5 seconds, and I'm still waiting to see who's joining. Yes, yes, yes. So this is Ashley, y'all. Ashley is a job search coach. She is a nationally certified resume writer and a nationally certified online profile expert with Right Step Resumes, which is her company. She is a former corporate recruiter of 15 years, and she's handled talent acquisition for multi-million-dollar banking, manufacturing, and nonprofit organizations. Today, she partners with frustrated job seekers to teach them leading edge job search strategies, from landing more interviews and job offers at their salaries they deserve. Ashley was recognized by LinkedIn as a 2019 top voice for career and job search experts, and is also a board member of the National Resume Writers Association. Now, when I tell y'all we bring top talent, it's top talent out here. And if you guys haven't tuned in yet, and you will, because I know for certain it's coming, I want you guys to keep that in mind. I want you guys to realize that you guys have somebody who is going to be the person that you need to talk to right now. So I am so happy to have Ashley here. And I just want to let you guys know that we live, y'all. We're live with Ashley. So Ashley, I'm gonna give you a few moments to tell everybody. I always like to lead with what was your struggle? What was your struggle? How did you get here before? Because a lot of people hear about the success. Your bio is riddled with success, but everyone thinks that you're only successful, right away. They never hear about the stuff that you struggle with. So Ashley, what did you struggle with when you first got here? And it looks like we have a wonderful viewer. Welcome, viewer. That's your struggle. Tell us about how you struggle, because nobody believes us when we say we struggle.
Exactly. So initially, I was a recruiter, a full-time corporate recruiter at a major nonprofit, and I started helping people update their resumes because, after all, as a recruiter, I looked at resumes every single day. So I would give people feedback on their resumes, do some small edits, and people were getting jobs. So I decided to launch a business, make it official, since I was helping so many people. And roughly the first 4 years of my business, I was working full-time as a corporate recruiter. I was on the radio part-time, and then I had my business part-time. So I had a lot going on. So the struggle with that is, I think for me, it was not having the time that I needed to focus on my business full time, or the resources, or, whatever the case, because I kind of jumped, took the leap without a proper plan and just everything. I just knew I needed to help people. I needed to get my voice heard, and I did it. I went for it. And shortly, as I kind of learned as I went, I did not have, like I said, the perfect plan, for anything. I ended up landing another job, and it was more on the generalist side of HR. Wasn't really, all that excited about it. So I took the leap to launch my business full time. And boy, was I behind. I had to, catch up a whole lot on my processes, the legalities of my business. I mean, it was just everything. I needed an updated website. I needed to set myself up to be able to function full time. And that was a struggle. Not trusting that, the clients would continue to come, not trusting that I could survive without the parachute of my full-time business. So I struggled with that, for years. And right now I'm 4 years into full-time entrepreneurship. I am loving it. It is still a struggle. I still have struggles, all the time. But what that whole process taught me is that a lot of times we hold off on things because we want to be so perfect. And then, you kind of do it and be like, man, I should have done this years ago. And that's where I sit right now. I'm like, I could have been doing this, all the times that I was making all these excuses for myself. I really could have been out there doing what I do best, doing what I love. And that's helping people, land better job opportunities at the salaries they deserve. So yeah, that was my struggle. I continue to struggle every day, but at least it's mine. So I'm excited to be here. I'm so glad that you invited me. And I look forward to doing more of these with you on several different topics around job searching and business networking.
Well, I'm back. I had to take myself off screen so they could just completely focus on your energy. They need to see my facial expressions because you have a story that is uniquely yours. And you cannot even share that with the ladies today. So as you queue up your screen before I show everything, I'm going to let you your talk. Ladies, I will disappear. You will not be able to see or hear me. You will only be able to see Ashley's wonderful presentation. If you have questions, please put them in the comment box so I can show them, and then I can pop in if I need to let Ashley know you have these questions. She's going to be looking live at her presentation. So just keep that in mind. If you have questions, who are you? Where are you coming from? Who are you? Where are you coming from? What's your struggle? Post it in the comments while Ashley's talking. We will stop. We will let you, get your questions in. But try to save some of the big ones for the end so Ashley can get through the amazing presentation. And I'm pretty sure she's going to stay on for Q&A afterwards.
Right,
so
sure. Absolutely.
Just let her get through the presentation. Let her, criticize all that she needs to about my LinkedIn. And I, okay? So you won't hear me at all. All right, guys. See you later.
All right. So I have a formal presentation, but I'm very informal with my communication and everything. So I may skip some things and bounce around because I really want to make sure that you're getting what you need from this presentation. So today the focus is going to be LinkedIn and your job search. However, the techniques that I'm going to share with you will also help you build or expand your network. If you are a business, if you are a consultant, if you are a freelancer, whatever the case, if you're searching for jobs, all of these tips can be applicable to you in multiple circumstances. So today I will share with you the secret sauce of maximizing your job search with a LinkedIn profile. And remember, this is also for those people who are not necessarily job searching, but just looking to build a network. So a little bit about me. I am a job search coach and a nationally certified resume writer. My company is Right Step Resumes. I am based out of the Birmingham area. However, I do work with clients all over the U.S. as well as Canada and really just globally. I work with a lot of different clients. As Nina said earlier, I do have 15 years of experience in recruiting. So I worked in manufacturing, education, nonprofit, and also banking. And I've also helped small businesses recruit for their opportunities as well. I hire for entry level up to executive level roles. So I've seen a lot of resumes, a lot of LinkedIn profiles, and I definitely can attest to the fact that more people are afraid to use their LinkedIn profile because they're not really sure what to do with it. So I want to sort of relieve that anxiety and have you trust that LinkedIn can benefit you no matter where you are in your career. So today, what you'll actually learn is how to create that LinkedIn profile, either from scratch, or you can actually up-level the one that you have. There are places on your profile where you will want to add keywords or those special identifying competencies or skills in your profile so that you appear in more searches so that people find you for the things that you do. I'll actually pop in and show you my profile to show you the difference between what I would do as a job seeker versus how I transition my profile into that for business. And I use it to generate leads and to get clients. Also, I'll show you how to give yourself an edge above the average job seeker or the average person that's in your zone of genius. The person, it may be your quote unquote competition, although I don't believe that there's competition for real out there. But that's another topic. Also, I'll give you some strategies for increasing your visibility and, as I said, expanding your professional network so that you're maximizing your profile and actually getting a true benefit from it. So there are 7 reasons why you actually should be on LinkedIn. Again, this is if you have a business, if you are looking for jobs, or you're just looking to build your network. It's where the decision makers are. LinkedIn released they release stats pretty much every year. And there are over 600 million people on LinkedIn. And a lot of them are decision makers. They are business owners. They are company officials. They are employees. There are people that are just there looking for networking opportunities. You also want to dig your well on LinkedIn before you're thirsty. You don't want to, wait until there's an opportunity. I'm launching this business, so now I'm going to start networking, or I'm looking for this particular job, so now I'm going to start networking. It's something that you want to do continuously so that you're already prepared. You already have built those relationships with people, so that when the time does come and you want to find that job, you want to be connected to get more clients, you're already ready. You can also strengthen your offline network. I know I have met several people across the world I've met them on LinkedIn, but we actually have branched off of that, and we shared we share conversation, some in person, some over the phone. So don't be afraid to take your relationships that you built, take those offline. Those are great opportunities. You can find meetups in your area. LinkedIn actually has a function where you can find professionals that are in your area. If you go to a networking event, you can actually do a search. It's sort of like a GPS where you can find, anybody. It's like a locator where you can find people that are that you're already connected to on LinkedIn. If they're at a place where you're at, LinkedIn will let you know that. You also can use LinkedIn to reconnect with people. So maybe you used to work with somebody, maybe you had clients at a past job, maybe you just lost connection with people. You want to reconnect and kind of let them know what you're up to, find out what they're up to. LinkedIn, again, it's about building relationships. It's about, getting information, sharing information. So it's, give to get. So you're not always networking is asking people for something or trying to get a sale or trying to, ask people for a job. It's not about asking. It's about sharing information. And then, people will easily return the favor. You also can use LinkedIn, especially if you're a business or someone who is looking to get more traction in your industry. You can establish yourself as an expert by sharing articles, by posting on a regular basis. I know a lot of companies have come out of the woodworks over the last couple of days to talk about racial injustice issues and to talk about how companies are managing their either crisis communications or releasing statements regarding everything, surrounding George Floyd and some of the racial injustices that we've been, facing for the last couple hundred years. It's getting a lot of attention right now. So a lot of people are able to establish themselves as experts in, say, diversity and inclusion. That's something that's going to be really big on the forefront for a lot of companies. So if that's your wheelhouse and something that you're very passionate about, right now will be the time to build those connections to open yourself up to those opportunities for those diversity roles. So if you are a passive candidate, meaning that you're open to opportunities, but you're not necessarily out there actively searching and applying for jobs, LinkedIn is a great place for you to be, because if your profile is optimized, which we will go into what optimization actually means and how you do it, as a passive candidate, you can appear in more recruiter and hiring manager searches as it relates to particular jobs. I know when I was in corporate recruiting, one of the first places that I would go outside of our own database was LinkedIn to find talent. And last but not least, you can solidify your digital footprint. So when clients make a decision to work with me, they have already researched me on multiple platforms, even if they found me on LinkedIn. Because for one thing, to be present on LinkedIn is to be present in Google, because they do have a partnership. And so if you were to Google your name, so I want you guys to do this, Google your name and see what comes up. If you have a LinkedIn profile, even if you have a website that is associated with your name, your LinkedIn profile will probably rank higher than your actual website. And that's something that I found very interesting, which is also why I put so much energy and thought behind my LinkedIn profile. And I'll share my actual profile with you just so you can see some of the things I do, some of the things I post, and how I established myself as an expert, because it was a process. I wasn't always as, I guess, in love with LinkedIn as I am today, but it was a process. It was something that I had to get used to doing, because as a recruiter, I was sort of behind the scenes, and as a business owner, I have to be more in the forefront. So we'll talk about a lot of those things, but those are the 7 reasons why I would say you definitely need to be on LinkedIn if you are feeling like, I don't know that that's going to help me in my business, or if I don't know that that's going to help me get a job, it's never helped me before. If you talk to people, more often than not, they either found out about an opportunity on LinkedIn, or somebody has reached out to them about a job opportunity, whether they were really active on LinkedIn or not. So if you think about, you're getting traction and people are sending you messages right now without you even using your profile correctly, imagine what could happen if you're able to maximize it and optimize each section to, really solidify your personal brand, so that people, when they, visit your profile, they see who you are, what you do, and how you add value. You open yourself up to a whole lot more opportunities. So what actually makes a LinkedIn profile complete? So when you start your LinkedIn profile, you can set up an account. It's very easy. You can do it within minutes. You want to focus on things like your industry and your location, because LinkedIn is it's built upon searches in those, and basically like the SEO on a website. You want to make sure that if you're in sales and marketing, or if you're in healthcare or education or the legal field or whatever, you want to make sure that you're selecting your industry, because that does impact your search results. You also want to make sure that you're keeping your information up to date and current. So if you have a particular position that maybe you've gotten a new position, maybe you started speaking, maybe you started doing some consulting work, on the side, make sure that your profile is optimized for that. And then you also want to make sure that you have any past positions that you have, fill out the information for it. Like, don't just put the position and the dates and the, and the location, and then leave your position empty, because you're not optimizing. You're not maximizing your capability. You're leaving too much, to be desired, and you could be missing out on opportunities from that. You want your education, your skills. You definitely want a profile photo. It's something very similar to how we view other profiles. Like if there's a Twitter account or IG or something like that, and they don't have a photo and they want to connect with you, you're like, okay, who sent you? What's going on with you? Like, why don't I see a picture? Like, I feel like it sort of removes that creep factor when you actually use a profile photo. And then you want to have at least 50 connections. So a lot of us have a couple hundred contacts in our phone. So it's very easy to go through and find 50 connections. It could be people that you currently work with, clients that you've worked with before. It could be family members or whatever. Just build up that initial connection, just so you can have that tribe of people that you feel comfortable with, that are connected with you, so you can get comfortable with the system, so that you can definitely get more out of it. So you can get more interaction, more engagement, because that's going to drive more traffic to your site as well. Now, when hiring reps are reviewing LinkedIn profiles, there are certain things that we see first. We'll see the name. We also see the headline, and we'll go over what these sections actually look like. I'm going to flip to my profile in just a second, or actually I'll do it when I flip to Nina's profile, because I'm going to actually do a live review of her profile. So that's going to be pretty fun. But yeah, you want to make sure that your headline is completed. And that's pretty much your branding statement. It is, what type of position are you currently in, or what you're targeting? And then what your it factor is. What are the things that you're really good at? What are your strongest skills? That's what needs to be in your headline. Your current job title needs to be completed. Your past job titles, maximize every section, education, your recommendations. Recommendations are pretty much like your referrals. So when I have a client that is interested in working with me, I always point them to those recommendations, because that is real live people who have worked with me before, who are giving. You can click on their profiles and kind of see, you can tell the profiles that I've actually built, but you can actually see real life people who have worked with me and see what they have to say about their experience working with me, what I was able to help them with, and they talk about their results. So recommendations can be very beneficial to someone who is searching for a job, or at least trying to attract clients, because other people can see what others have to say about you. So it's less about, I know on our websites and when we talk about ourselves, it's easy to say that I help my clients do X, Y, Z, but it's another thing to have those clients actually, validate that information. So recommendations are very important. you can actually see who, as a recruiter, you can see who candidates are connected to. You can see what companies they follow. You can see any mutual connections that you may have. If they attach a resume, you can see that. Any sort of media that they want to add, pictures of them being at work, all of those different things. So, just be cognizant of what your privacy settings are, the same way like any other profile, because recruiters and hiring reps can see that information, even your activity. So we can tell if you commented on somebody's post, or if you liked somebody's content. Be careful with that too, because if it's something that's politically charged or something that maybe derogatory, employers can see that and clients can see that as well. So just be cognizant of your professional communication when you're doing anything on social media or online, period, just in general, really. But social media, that stuff can catch up with you pretty fast. So how do you maximize your search through LinkedIn? First and foremost, I want you to customize your URL. I'll go through that to show you exactly what that looks like. So we'll talk about how you can use your URL, like on your resume, on your business cards, on your website. Also, how you can make your contact information more visible so that people that aren't connected with you still have a way to reach out to you if need be. Then, places where you can add your awards, your certifications, your any activities that you belong in, volunteer organizations that you're a part of. All of that is there. And then you want to especially make sure that you proofread your profile and that you update it regularly. LinkedIn is a living document. It serves a lot of the same purposes as your resume, but LinkedIn is live. You can interact with people in real time using that. And usually when somebody looks at your profile, it's much like a Google search. If you click on something that comes up in your search results, you click it, you see that it's not really what you're looking for. The chances of you revisiting that site are slim to none. And so the same thing applies when it comes down to recruiters and hiring managers looking at these LinkedIn profiles. So you want to make sure that from that first look, your information is good, is primed, is ready to go. You're not missing out on any opportunities, because recruiters will rarely give you a second look, because we can tell the profiles that we looked at already. The same way your Google results may turn purple to show that you've already clicked on that link. LinkedIn is very similar for us when we go through candidate search results. So the biggest turnoffs that I've seen in recruiting as it relates to LinkedIn profiles is when people use selfies as their profile photos, or they don't have a profile photo at all. For me, it's a real creeper when I have somebody reaching out to me on a professional platform and there's no picture there, or there's a cartoon or something like that. Like, no, this is your livelihood. So you want to present yourself as professional as possible. I don't know about you, but I take the best pictures when I'm in the bathroom. So if you have a tripod or have someone there with you that can take a picture of you, you can create your own headshot right there at your own house. You can do it in your bathroom. You can do anywhere that has good natural light. Outside, you definitely can take a great picture with that, but you don't need a professional photographer to give you a headshot that's presentable enough for LinkedIn. There are we're way advanced when it comes to smartphones that take great pictures. Sometimes we take pictures and can edit them just as good as a professional photographer. So take advantage of that. You also don't want your profile to appear dormant, because that will people will avoid reaching out to you if they don't think your profile is live. And one of the things is not being able to see a profile picture. Your information isn't up to date. It looks like you just really, the profile is just out there and it's stale. So make sure that you stay active on these profiles. When you're looking for jobs and you're networking, remember, networking is not about asking for something right away. It's about building relationships. It's about sharing information. It could be sharing compliments. It's about interacting with people, finding something that's common to, maybe it's the common denominator between you two. Maybe you went to the same school. Maybe you worked at the same company before, or maybe you have the same type of position, just at a different company. You want to connect with those individuals and build relationships from there. Maybe they ask a question, so answer it. If they post a quote that resonates with you, post an article. Make sure that you're commenting, liking, engaging, sharing information, because that helps to drive activity to your profile as well. So try to avoid at all costs asking people to do things for free that they charge for. So for me, in my specific situation, that would be asking me, hey, look at my resume and tell me what's wrong with it, do a couple edits and send it back to me. I do get people that want that. And I'm like, absolutely, I would love to do that for you, but you need to sign up for my services to get that done. So, really asking for way more than you would be willing to give somebody for free. But to have somebody, hey, can you take a look at, read my article? I thought you would enjoy it because you posted some similar content. I would love for you to share your feedback when you have time. That's something that comes across a little bit different than, hey, look at my resume, my LinkedIn profile, and my cover letter and tell me what's wrong with it. Or, reaching out to somebody for the first time, asking them for a job. So those are some things that I definitely would say are absolute no-nos on LinkedIn. Bashing recruiters or your current company. A lot of times we have bad, application experiences or hiring experiences with these companies, but it doesn't do us any service by going on a social media platform and bashing them, because that information is always there. And especially with people screenshotting and whatnot, you definitely don't want to be involved in that sort of activity, because that stuff does live on forever and it can impact your ability to land a job or get clients. So if you are building a business, sometimes clients may get under your skin. They may do something that's absolutely ludicrous, but under no circumstances should you be bashing, those clients, because there's somebody that may be sitting on the sideline. Because what I've learned is that people watch me on social media for about 3 to 6 months before they decide to actually get the guts to even reach out to me to say something, to ask for help or to sign up for my services. So that means that they have been watching my interactions, watching how I address people disagreeing with me, or people asking questions and things like that. So just be cognizant of that when you're interacting online. I already talked about liking and sharing and commenting, that we can see that activity. So be careful of what you engage with, because that information does show as well. Make sure that your contact information is up to date, because that's a turnoff, that I'm so excited about you as a candidate. I want to connect with you. I want to work with you or whatever. And then I get to your contact information and it is not up to date. So that's something that's a big no-no. Also, when you're connecting with people, especially those that you don't know or people that you need to re-engage with or reconnect with, read their profiles, understand what they're doing now, what they're up to, so that you're not reaching out to them for things they don't need. I have somebody that is in my inbox on LinkedIn right now asking me if I would like to work from home, when I've worked from home for definitely the last 4 years in my business, but I would say maybe 8 years total professionally. So why would you be reaching out to me asking me if I want to work from home? Because you're pitching me without learning who I am. And so that's the biggest no-no of sales and marketing. You want to build relationships first and find out what your potential clients' pain points are first before you start reaching out to them, pitching your product or your service. Applying for every job across the board, whether you're qualified for it or not, is definitely a turnoff, because recruiters want to know, or companies want to feel like you are very focused, and that if you're applying for a sales and marketing or a legal counsel role or whatever the case it may be, that you are specifically targeting those roles, and that you're not over here applying for accounting roles over here and then IT roles over here, and then then now here you are on my legal counsel role. You seem like wanting have a hodgepodge of interests. You may have multiple things that you can do. Maybe you can do sales and operations and marketing, and you've had some experience in the legal field as well, but it doesn't mean that you have to present yourself out there as well. You don't want your resume or your communications or your LinkedIn profile or whatever to be the Cheesecake Factory menu, where there's everything, and you can get so overwhelmed and you're not necessarily knowing, understanding like, I can't make a choice. I kind of want to do everything. Well, you don't want to come across like that for people who are interested in hiring you. You want to be focused. You want to give them the information that's relevant to whatever their opportunity is, or relevant to their particular industry. They want to feel like, yeah, I can connect with her. She gets it. I want to hire her for that. Also, if you respond negatively to any kind of post or in mails or, just whatever, like for instance, if I had to send the rejection emails to any candidates that did not get jobs, and they responded negatively to that, bashing me or the company, or saying that I don't know what I'm doing, I'm crazy for not hiring them, those are people who probably won't ever get hired at the companies where I recruit, because that stuff does make a difference. How you respond, even when you don't get your way, can prevent you from getting opportunities. It can help you get opportunities if you respond in the right way. Saying, thank you so much for, the opportunity to apply or interview, or, or whatever the case. And, asking questions, what can I do better to better my chances of getting the job on the next go round? Or please keep me in mind. I understand that I wasn't the top candidate this time, but next time around, please consider me. Comes off a lot more than, dang, you didn't even give me an opportunity. I hate this company. This is why I don't like applying for jobs. Like, don't release your your baggage, on anybody else just because you don't get your way. So right now I want to stop this particular presentation and hop over to LinkedIn so I can talk to you about some of the things that I've gone over, and then maybe take some questions in there. So hang with me just a minute. I want to go here. So I've got, so right now, so Nina, do you want to pop in for a second to talk about what we're going to do for your profile and everything first?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm popping in. I've just been kind of, recruiting you guys some more views. So you probably won't see as many right now, but I've just been sending a watch party to everyone. But basically what we're going to do is she's going to go over my LinkedIn profile, y'all, and it might hurt. So just letting you know. I'm not sure I'm ready for the pain, but I'm actually going to go off screen again so you don't see my facial expressions, but
I actually want to keep it on there. It's more engaging if I see you. So
okay, well, if you see me, just make sure your screen is very visible, because let me see if I can change it so that we can see your screen better.
Okay.
I think this is still the best way to see it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay, cool. So the LinkedIn, so this is your LinkedIn profile. So you already have gone above and beyond what the average client I see comes, because you have a professional headshot and you also have a banner photo. That is something that it does make a difference, because it just makes your profile feel complete. It actually helps to communicate your brand. So you're smiling in your profile pictures. People, oftentimes want to take pictures with shades and, not looking into the camera and, and all of that. But the best profile pictures are when you're looking directly into the camera. You have a smile, because people want to feel like they're trying to imagine you as a member of their team when they're looking at your profile picture. So it's not that all the time that people are going to your profile just to see what you look like, to see, oh, is she white or is she black or, Hispanic or whatever the case may be. That's not always it. We're looking at your profile to see, because people hire people.
Yeah.
People hire people, okay? But they hire people that they know, like, and trust. So they want to look at your photo and feel like oh yeah, she would fit into the team, because she feels like, I feel like this burst of energy, or this bubbly personality, or she's strong and whatever, has an opinion about things, she's outspoken. So things like that, it does make a difference on the profile. So you definitely have got that. So this section right here, where it says the entrepreneurship and criminal defense lawyer, and then author of #DearFutureLawyers. So absolutely, that's your headline. So when people perform searches, these words become searchable. Those are keywords. So if I'm looking for somebody who's a criminal defense lawyer in the Birmingham area, you're more than likely going to come up in that search, because you have listed that as part of your headline. So that's something that's really good. So
I should have updated that a while ago then, because I had no idea. So I just let it stay the same. It was just author of Dear Future Lawyer for a long time, and the lawyer part in there.
Yeah. And so for your headline, you have 120 characters for your that you can use. So you want to maximize that. You don't want to feel like, I see a lot of people that will use and say that I'm seeking opportunities, I'm now looking for a job. Well, no recruiter ever is going to search for somebody that's looking for a job, right? Like, that's not a keyword that I'm going to use. I'm going to use your actual job title. I'm going to use different competencies or skills that person should have. So that's what your headline should include. Don't waste your precious real estate with those 120 characters, putting something in there that's not going to help you be searchable. So I want to show you guys what it's like to connect to somebody. So here you have an option, and I'm going to click on this. Where you're actually where you can connect. So you have an option here to add a note. A lot of people will just connect blindly, meaning that they will go ahead and hit send now, right? So that's going to send the connection. So it's basically like that friend request that's on Facebook. This is how you send a friend request on LinkedIn. But you want to let somebody know, like, why are you reaching out to me to connect? Because remember, you don't know these people. Whereas on Facebook and stuff, something draws you to that person's profile. Either you know them already, or there's some sort of interaction that you've had with them. Maybe you've laughed, had a shared a laugh or two on a post and decide that you want to connect. So that's completely different. Whereas with LinkedIn, you probably haven't interacted with these people at all. So I'm going to add a note. So on here, I would say something simple as, I love what you're doing with here. Future lawyer, okay? And then I'm going to say, would love to connect with you.
Awesome.
All right, and then I'm going to send that. All right, so that's something very simple, very simple. You have characters that you can use. Just use it to tell them why you're connecting with them. Maybe mention an article that you read of theirs. Whatever reason you're connecting. I'm connecting with like-minded professionals. I see that we're in the same industry. Let's connect. It doesn't have to be anything long and drawn out. So now I'm going to send the information. So now we'll be connected. So the next section of your profile is the about section. So here's where I want you to maximize your, you can capitalize on an opportunity much bigger here in this section, because there's 2,600 characters that you can use in here, but you have a one-liner. You're doing better than most. Some people don't have anything there. But what you want to use the about section for is to tell people who you are. Tell them who you are, what you do, and how you add value as well. So you want to, to definitely show that, people are getting to know you. They're trying to learn more about you, to see what you guys have in common. So, make sure that you're using every section as much as possible.
This is awesome, actually. This is awesome. The fact that people don't even know that. So like sometimes I'll just blind connect, but this is a way to make the blind connections valuable. And I've told my girls that before in my Law Sister circle that, they do need to introduce themselves based off of like a career field. Cause I think LinkedIn does a career field based on industry thing. So I told them to do that, but that's even better to use the headline, the thing that they use as their bread and butter to bring people in.
Right. And on my profile, I'm actually going to show you the benefits of doing these things that I'm going to have you do, going forward to your profile, so you can actually see it in action. So this is what I'm talking about that activity. Like I can see the things that you've interacted with. So I see that Blackout Tuesday was something that was important for you, important for you. It was very important to me. So if I didn't know you at all, I could use that as an opportunity to connect with you. Be like, hey, I saw you supporting Blackout Tuesday. Is something that I'm passionate about as well. Let's join each other, in the fight for equality or whatever the case, right? And then I get to know more about you. But I could just research. I could Google you and find out more information about you. I could find your YouTube or whatever, find you on Facebook, and do some research about your company, your organization, or whatever, and then come to you connecting in a genuine way, because I've already done my research. And then by that, you're going to be super excited that I even know about Dear Future Lawyer, and that, and then now we're going to have this conversation. Before you know it, we may even be on the phone sharing ideas. Things happen. That's how I've met tons of people all around the world just by something as simple as we both worked for the same nonprofit, but just at different times. So, for various reasons. In the experience section, this is also a place for keyword optimization. So, you want to make sure that all of this stuff is completed, which you have. You've gone into detail about, what it is that you do, what it is that the bar does. But what I would like to see is to talk more about you. You're talking a lot about the bar and not necessarily about you. And this is your profile.
Okay.
So, so it's okay to share what your company does, but don't forget to put it about you, because it's about Nina.
Okay.
So maybe, there's a lot of characters that can be used here too. So incorporate your voice, because it's about your voice, your personality, your brand. Even though you may be, working for another company, you are still an individual. So, don't lose yourself talking about the company that you work for, because an employer needs to make a decision on whether or not they want to, hire you based on what you do, not based on what your company does. Yep. So, and then here is an opportunity too. This position doesn't have any content, so I don't know what you necessarily did as a defense committee member, and I don't, maybe appointed counsel. Maybe I'm not, too familiar with the legal field just yet. I just know what an attorney is and what a lawyer is or whatever, but I'm not really sure about defense. I don't know. So you want to use this as an opportunity to educate people about what you do and how you can benefit them in some way. It's really not all about what you can do for the person looking at your profile. Remember, there are connections of connections of connections. And so somebody put out yesterday that they were looking for to crowd share some information with diversity leaders. And so because I know I've read some people's profiles before, I knew that they were involved in diversity. So I was able to tag them in that person's post so that people could see it. But that was because they had their profile complete. So so don't miss those opportunities. Now,
and then Ashley, just to backtrack on it for it, because some people might not understand the incorporate you part. So explain to them what you mean. Like, so don't necessarily take mine, but explain what you mean about make it about you, because a lot of people tell about their company and what the position role is. So they just like copy and paste. And it's very similar to what I did. And some of those things is what the company is. So how do you make it about you without it being like I'm such an amazing person, I do this, and then repeating the same thing over and over
again. Yeah. So you want to talk about the things that what you were hired to do. I was, like in this position, I did XYZ. These are some of the things that I accomplished. These are some of the projects that I worked on, because remember, people are looking at your profile to determine whether or not you're a fit on their team, their task force, whatever the case, right? So you don't talk about your company, because they're not trying to hire your company. They're not trying to work with the company. They're trying to work with you.
Yeah.
So that's make it about you. And I'll show you on my profile that you can see the clear transition between me as an employee and me as a business owner. And so here, you talk about your company. Well, that's fine, because you are your company, you are your brand. So this one, it's a little bit better. And also you have media. People can click on, the media and see that, and it's branded. It all matches, right? So now I'm looking like, okay, she's got her stuff together. Same thing here. It could be expounded. Tell people about what your organization does, so that they can, feel like they want to be a part of your organization, to support your organization. I don't know what, you're a nonprofit mentoring program, but let's talk about some of the things that you do. Talk about some of the things that you've been able to help people with. What was the success there? So, because when people see, and especially nonprofit organizations, when people see the things that you were able to accomplish through the work that you do, they're more apt to hire people. Think about when you see those ads and say that we were able to provide meals to 600 kids, but there's 3,000 kids, right? So right there, I'm like, oh crap, I need to help, try to support these other kids, right? So that's some things that you can do, just to share your initiative, share what your mission is. Copy and pasting things from the website, sometimes that's good enough. It's just about consistency, and everything, but letting people know what your role is, and then what your impact to that particular company was by way of your achievements and your contribution. And like I said, the same thing follows here. Now, I remember, if you remember earlier in the presentation, I was talking about that URL for your profile. So the URL is it's a personalized link where people can find you. So just like you have a handle for Twitter, for Instagram, Facebook, you also have the same handle. You have a handle for LinkedIn as well. So here, if I wanted to get like your contact info, you have all filled out. A lot of people don't have this. They don't have their information on there. You've got your websites, you have your email address. And so, I can also see that you're new to LinkedIn. So that may be a way that I connect with you. If I don't know you, like, I see you're brand new to LinkedIn, I'd like to work with you. Or whatever. So you've got 500, plus connections. That's really, really amazing. Well, we actually connected that day. So if we hadn't connected, I could see the beginning of when you got on LinkedIn. So let me clarify that. So then, like, more, let's see. Okay. So up here, you can see in the URL up here. That's your URL. Most people's URLs has these letters and dashes and numbers and stuff. Something that LinkedIn auto populates. You can personalize that. And how you would do that, you go up to me on your profile and just go to view profile. So this is going to take you to my profile. Okay. In the top right, you see edit profile URL, and you click there, and it's going to take you to the edit page. So you see mine is already done at Ashley J. Watkins. So if you want to connect with me there, do it. I connect. Just let me know where you found me, where that you were actually on this live learning about LinkedIn, and I'll definitely connect with you. But you will click on that blue pencil and play around. You can use your full name. I had to use my middle initial because there is another Ashley Watkins who had already claimed Ashley Watkins. So I had to throw my middle initial in there. People have to put numbers in theirs because somebody has. So if you have a common name like Mary Brown, you can pretty much bet there's another Mary Brown that's gotten your information already, that's already claimed that URL. So the benefits of having this URL is that it doesn't look junky on your resume or your business cards. I would much rather have it looking like this than just this auto-populated thing that has a bunch of numbers and characters and stuff like that in it. So that's the benefit of having that. And you can change that at any time, but just know the minute you try to change it, you may not be able to go back if somebody else has already claimed it. So so just be careful with that. So to go back to your profile in there, you have that URL. So it's, it's your name. It has, and you have Esquire at the end. So I automatically know when you see that you're an attorney. So there are things that you can do. If you have an MBA, you can use that. If you have a certification like a PMP, or you have, say, a human resources certification or something, feel free to add those to your name if your name is already taken. But usually first name, last name is good enough. Then you want to maximize your skills. So you've got your licenses and certifications, your volunteer experience. You've got a really complete profile. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at this profile at all. I would like to see, just for your skills, that you put your top 3 here. If you were attracting clients, you want clients to not be coming to you for Microsoft Office, right? You want them coming to you for legal stuff. If if you're getting, if you're a coach, you want coaching stuff. If you're, in the legal field, you want to make sure that you have your legal skills at the forefront. Public speaking is good because you do a lot of public speaking, but you want to make sure that those top 3 skills are the things that your top 3 money makers. That's what the top 3 is. So if we go to my profile, so I have a headshot. I also have a banner photo that talks about the main things that I help people with. And then here's my headline. So again, it's talking about what my job titles are, which is a certified resume writer, job search and interview coach, and a former recruiter. But then it also gives clients an idea of what I do. And if by connecting with me, you're going to land more interviews and job offers faster. That's what it is. So that's my headline. Also, there's a place as a candidate that you would want to, now this is if you want people to know that you're looking for a job, you can put that you're open to job opportunities. I keep this stuff on my profile just because it helps me help my clients if I'm doing the same things that they're doing. I don't ask my clients to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. So I open to job opportunities here. And so any recruiter, this is not visible to everybody on LinkedIn. It's only visible to people who have recruiter profiles. However, you want to be careful with this, just because a recruiter at your company could very well see that you're open to new opportunities. So if you're under the radar, you may not want to take that chance because this is not 100% safe. Okay. LinkedIn is taking measures to make sure that recruiters at your company, can't see them, but that doesn't mean 100%. So you may not want to take that chance. But if you are a service provider, You want this visible to anyone, and you want them to see the things that you offer. So, you definitely can edit and add to your services, because LinkedIn populates that information. So when people are looking for somebody in in your field who offer the types of services that you offer, it actually generates clients for you. I get a lot of clients from LinkedIn. So if you're a service provider, you definitely want to be in LinkedIn no matter what you do. Yeah, I don't care if you're making t-shirts, if you're a hairstylist, a barber, if you're doing whatever the case, you can benefit from LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's my about section. So you see, I've got tons of information here, and it's about, the things that I do, the reason why people come to me, how I can help them, and things like that. So when people read this, I want it to resonate with it. Be like, oh my gosh, she gets it. I got to work with her. So that's why I wrote my profile. So while it is about me attracting clients, I'm incorporating information about me too, because I'm telling them about my background and why I'm the right person to work with them.
Yes.
So it's about my clients first and foremost, but they have to get to know me, because I don't know about you, but I spend money with people that I know and like.
Yes.
So that, I have to research a company and feel good about it. And before, I'm just going to drop my coins working with you, especially with the type of one-on-one, service and investment, that you have to, make to work with me. I want people to feel like they know me as well as possible, which is why I offer free calls as well with potential clients, so that you can ask questions and, and get to know me. So that's one of the reasons why I have people, I have my website information there, but even more so, I have different tips, free tips that they can download, different products that they can link to. With your LinkedIn profile, you can monitor who's been watching your profile and all of that. And the reason why those keywords are so important is because of those search appearances. And so if you have a premium account, that's the paid account, you can actually see where the people who searched for you when you appeared in those searches, where they work, what they do. And you can also see the words that they use to find you. So you see, those are all keywords that are in my headline: job coach, writer, recruiter. That's why people are finding me using those words. It's because they're in my headline. They're in my job section, or whatever. So if I go back here, I'm going to show you what I mean when I say you have to optimize each section. So you see here, I have different titles there. So no matter what people are looking for, whether it's resume help, interview coaching, or LinkedIn work, they see that I do that, right? And then the same thing for my speaking. I have a separate section for that. And then when I had a job, a corporate job, there's, just a regular job title there, but it goes into what I was hired to do, what I did, right? But then it's showing my achievements in that job too. So now people can see how efficient I was. So you can see what I do for my clients, the services that I offer, right? So you see how much space you have. Like you gotta capitalize on that space. That's free space. That's free advertising. Yeah. And so I did it for each one of my positions. And you can do this very easily just by using your resume as a foundation. So I don't want to take too much time going over, this stuff. So you can see my certifications. You also can see my top 3 skills. Yeah. So when you think about what your top 3 skills are, think about your top 3 money makers. What are the things that you do that generate the most income, or what are the things that you want to do that generate the most income? And that's how you can pick your top 3, but you can put 50 skills on there. You see all those skills that I have. So there's a lot of space there. And then these are recommendations. This is what clients have to say about me. And that gets me a lot of business too, because people are like, oh, well, if this many people were able to get help from her, then I shouldn't be any different. So, so that's how you can maximize your actual profile. But I want to touch really quickly on some things that you can do to connect with more individuals. Look at hashtags. So if you're in accounting, you can look at the hashtag accounting jobs, and I swear job posting. Now you see all these job postings coming up, and they're all over the place. So the same way hashtags work across other platforms, they work the same way on LinkedIn. You can actually follow hashtags. You can join groups. So if you're a lawyer or, an attorney, you can find attorneys in groups. So you can find people that are attorneys, job openings for attorneys, or attorneys that are in groups. And so now we're going to look at groups. So now you can join a personal injury network. You can, join if you're looking for what's yours, criminal defense.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do criminal defense. And you can find those groups. So you see, and some of them are broken out by state, by city. And you can join those groups with like-minded individuals, and that's more networking opportunities. So the possibilities are endless here. And I'm going to share some resources that I give to my clients so that you can kind of recap the information that we're talking about today, and you can share that with your with any of the participants today. But yeah, I want to open the floor for questions. So I'm going to turn it back over to you in case you have questions or other people have questions.
All right. So right now, Ashley, it doesn't look like there are quote unquote questions yet, but I'll ask you some questions that I already have set up. So one thing I've seen on LinkedIn, and you mentioned it earlier, was the in-mail people. How do you deal with the in-mail people? Because I get those messages all the time in a nice way. How can you recognize them early when they're sending you messages and you know it's a pitch? They're not going to build a connection. They're just going to try to sell you something, because those are spam or annoying, and they don't build a connection. You're right. And it makes it really difficult for you to actually want to work with someone who spams you with messages all the time. So how can you learn to recognize that early? So if you need to unfollow, how do you do it in a nice, seamless way, just in case you run into them one day in the street? So can you give a breakdown on that?
Yeah, so the same thing applies when somebody sends you a friend request, say on Facebook or whatever, and you look like, okay, do I know you? You go through their pictures, you kind of go through their posts, you go through your mutual connections. Do the same thing on LinkedIn. If you don't feel like that person being connected to you is of any benefit at all because they have not researched you, you research them, you don't see any value there. Don't water down your network just because somebody wants to connect with you. Just like you can delete a friend anywhere else or unfollow somebody, do that on LinkedIn if you need to. Don't feel pressured to be connected to anybody. Also you want to ask them, have you taken a look at my profile? What brings you my way?
That's a good one. I never thought I just shut them down. I just go and follow them. If they send me too many messages.
And I do that as well, just depending, especially it comes from a lot of people who may do business coaching or they may do some sort of marketing or something. And then I'm just like, look, dog, like you have obviously like this guy, he said, I researched your profile and I love the work that you do in commercial real estate. Well, first of all, you sent me a copy and paste message that you obviously did not update before you sent it. Especially when somebody is saying something like, I can help you build your brand or, whatever, when branding is a part of my business, right? Yeah. I use it as a teachable moment. It's like, look, you probably want to work with me as far as that branding stuff because your marketing is a little bit off and so is your branding. So let's talk, maybe we can, work together on how you could, better target, use your profile and other people's profile in these search functions to be more targeted in your search for potential clients, because I'm not it. Let me help you help yourself. So you just depending on what you do, I think I could definitely see how that could spin into great work for you because you do a lot with branding, so you can use it as an opportunity to gain a new client because obviously they need help.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So then I'm going to get into the next thing, and this was off your profile. So help them understand how you did the tips, because that's a really cool thing that most of them probably don't know how to use LinkedIn for. So how do you make LinkedIn so they can have downloadable tips, or they can do things where they can give their clients free things that them to because that's a great strategy. It brings you to the profile. I even have a checklist myself on my law firm thing. There's a free checklist at the top trees or my tap bio link tree. So like, what do you do? What about keeping those tips open? Do you update the tips regularly? Do you leave the same tips? Help them understand. A lot of people don't think that you can give stuff out for free and still get clients. They still come.
You definitely can. I give out tons of free information, free tips. Just as far as I may do a post or a video. I wrote an article. I wrote an article 4 years ago about racial injustice and how our white companies or white, coworkers and colleagues and stuff like that could rally behind their black employees, black and brown or just people of color during this time. And so I wrote that article 4 years ago, and then here I am having to repost this article again. So I reposted the article, and I actually got clients for that. I actually have been invited to speak on a podcast about diversity in job searching and that kind of stuff. And that was for free. It didn't cost me anything. I actually got paid to write the article in the first place, many years ago. But then here it is still generating income for me. So you in the media section of your profile, you can add a link. So you can hyperlink to something. If you have a document that you want to share, upload it to your Google Drive, and then paste the link into LinkedIn. Now everybody has access to it. You can put a link to for your email sign up there. So that way you're grabbing information from them, you're generating, you're building your list, but then you're sharing something, in return. And then now you can, create a marketing funnel. So now you can keep in contact with them, have them sign up for your newsletter. You can use it for, in multiple ways. But yeah, just as long, there's a link there that you can just add the link very easily. It doesn't, I'm not a very technical person. So the fact that I can do this stuff, you definitely can do it. And remember, it's a process. So I have probably 200 plus followers on LinkedIn, but I have been on LinkedIn since 2006, maybe 2004, 2005, whatever. And so it's going to take time. I had to build this up just when I shifted into to entrepreneurship from being an employee. So the way I use my profile is very different. So those stuff I had to do to build my following is very different. But it's a process. And remember, likes, followers, and stuff like that does not always equal money. So don't be fooled don't think that just because you have 10 followers and somebody else has 10 million, it doesn't mean that they make any more money than you. Make sure that you're putting out content that your audience can appreciate, that your audience finds valuable. And how you know it, whether or not it's valuable, is if people are telling you that they found you because of your content, that they want to work with you because of your content, or telling you how much your freebie helped them. That's how you know whether or not the information you're putting out is actually valuable or not the fact that people are just buying everything up. Because sometimes I can put out content that people are just like, nah. I mean, I remember 4 years ago when I first posted that article, I didn't really get that many bites on it, yet I had 300 plus people interact with the article when I just posted it.
Full circle. So you keep putting your content out. And then Ashley, this is something that maybe we'll do another talk on, but like blogging, that is a good way to draw people in. So what you're talking about, you can write something now that can completely go viral years later because it's completely relevant.
Exactly.
What you're speaking to is very important about relevance later on. So keep in mind. And guys, just remember, you can always ask questions in the comments. I see we got like 4 people in here right now that are new. I got a lot of people on the watch party on the other line. So there's tons of people in here. Feel free to ask me any questions on the watch party or on this. And I would totally get those and relay those to Ashley. But the next question I have is about job searching, because a lot of people came from them, but then they came for job searching. So tell them a little bit about what you do for job searching and how you clients with that specific skill, because a lot of people don't think, they're just like, okay, so she's just gonna help me with the resume and then she's gonna abandon me and then it's just I'm on my own. So how do you help your clients with job searching? What is different about what you do and how you approach it?
Yeah, so I approach job searching from a place of I've been there because I've been laid off, I've been underpaid, I've been undervalued, I've been frustrated, I've wanted, promotional opportunities, but I didn't want to be a supervisor. I've wanted more responsibility, I've wanted to learn and grow. And just coming from that space of, this is something that I used to, do as a recruiter, then, I just flipped that into on the flip side of it, giving my clients those tips to help them maximize their job search. So I do work with clients from beginning to end of that resume building, the cover letter, the LinkedIn profile, but then helping them with interviews, with their their 1 minute pitch, helping them with salary negotiation, and things like that. So I do have services that support clients from start to finish. And we can work together just on an hourly basis. It doesn't always have to be a resume. You can, book a free, call with me, via my website at rightstepresumes.com, or you can find me on Facebook and just reach out to let me know what you're struggling with. Connect with me on LinkedIn at Ashley J. Watkins. Just reach out. I can send you some resources to point you in the right direction if one-on-one is something that you're not quite ready for. It's just like I said, it's easier to be ready than it is to get ready. So if you think that even in the near future there's a possibility that you may need to have an updated profile or resume or whatever, now is the time to get that done.
Awesome. And then when can you drop your link in that chat box over there on the page?
Yeah, sure.
So that it'll be up there and live for anybody who's here. And then just as a special aside, if you are in my Lost Sister Circle group, I do need your LinkedIn's and your emails and your first and last names. And I'm going to send that information to Ashley after, so she will be able to subscribe you or send you her mailing list information. So if you signed up for LinkedIn, the LinkedIn drop, that is Ashley's talk or anything related to LinkedIn, we'll always send that to anybody who can at least look at the stuff that you guys are looking for. So if you are a special lady in our Lost Sister Circle, which is for minority women in law, that will be sent to Ashley post this. And if she wants to offer you anything in the future, that's something that she can use. She can utilize the list for that. So if you did sign up, that's just a special perk of being in the group. You get free access to people who are amazing, and then give you whatever offers they have or whatever because of that. So Ashley, tell the people why you started Right Steps Resume, because we talked about your struggle. We talked about how you got there. We talked about how you lost your job. Why did you start that job? You could have started any job. You could have just been a life coach, not a life coach.
I did a fundraiser with the American Cancer Society, and I needed to raise, I think, $1,200. And so I just told people, you can donate $20. I'll look at your resume, edit it for whatever job you want to apply for. And I did that. And so many people were getting jobs, and, they were like, you need to get paid to do this. You're doing all of this work and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I'm pretty good at this. Let me, let's do it. And so I start researching, starting a business that people really, needed help with. And then I just modified my services from there. But it really came from a place of just wanting to help people, to help people. So, wanting to fight cancer, but wanting to help people, to encourage them to to help others. So that's really how it got started. It was something very simple, nothing that I put a whole lot of thought into. But then it just evolved from there, and I, saw the opportunity and, and jumped on it.
Awesome. And as you know, I run a few businesses. So I run a law firm. I do the little Nina the Last brand. It's not little, but still, I do Nina the Last brand, which is another LLC, and I do the nonprofit. How do you talk to businesses or people who want to do entrepreneurship? So I've been really on the tip lately on my personal page, Facebook, about Black entrepreneurship and trying to encourage Black entrepreneurs. So how can you be helpful to businesses? And maybe somebody wants to start their own. Do you provide coaching? What do you do with your business do, and walking through the steps? Because a lot of people, they're going to come to me and they'll be like, business coaching. I'm like, no, you just go talk to Ashley. Because
and see, I don't necessarily do business coaching, but when people come to me from a place of, look, I would love to get into resume writing. How did you get started? I share information all the time, depending on what all we're getting into. It could be, something as little as, I have a quick question session, and that's like $99. And we spend an hour together kind of going over different things, answering questions, sharing resources and whatever. So it's a more, a more of like a training versus me just asking, you just asking questions. But I share information with people all the time about how I got started. I'm very transparent in my business. I don't keep secrets when it comes to, how I got started and, and stuff like that. And things that I did to improve with my writing skills, with my ability to coach and, and stuff like that. So I can share resources and, put people in contact with, attorneys that they need, help incorporating or, or whatever the case. But as far as business coaching, that's something that I don't do. Most of my coaching is geared towards job searching and, interviews and that kind of thing.
Okay. And ask about it. You know, I've been wanting to ask about it since you told me about. This is the whole reason why our LinkedIn talk started. How did you become the 2019 LinkedIn voice? What did you do? What
Yeah,
was that?
just really just sharing information and engaging with people and keeping a an online presence and really contributing to my industry with the tips and the knowledge that I have and through networking. It's basically it. So yeah, they actually had a forum where they started nominating people, and
Wow.
I've been, added to list of the top people to follow. A company called JobScan, which helps people develop or keyword optimize their resumes for
Mhm.
jobs. They actually listed me as one of the top 15 job search experts to follow, for 2019 as well. So
Wow.
the opportunity just come just from putting yourself out there. You can't hide. No more hiding. You have to be, just out there, be visible. Let
Yeah.
people share your expertise. Don't hold on to, to all the goodies. Just make sure that you're sharing that. And that's how it happened for me. I don't have a specific formula other than I put myself out there and shared as much information as I possibly could.
Wow. And
Yeah.
I'm just so impressed. Like, well, I just want to take the time to give you kudos because the thing of the matter is, LinkedIn is so, so scary to a lot of people. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, I know I need one. They do all the business sessions and say, you need to get a LinkedIn, you need to get a LinkedIn, but then nobody knows how to
But
optimize
they
it.
don't tell you
Nobody
how, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they don't tell you the how. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through kind of what you said as a review for the people. So when someone wants to do this, create a LinkedIn profile, what do they need to do? Like help me tell someone to create a LinkedIn profile. So that was one of your points when you sent those to us about
Mhm.
what they need to do. So we're at that part of the agenda. So when they want to create
Yeah.
a LinkedIn profile, what do they do?
I just basically log on to LinkedIn.com, create the profile. It's very simple. They actually have refined their system to where it gives you step-by-step instructions as you go along. So it gives you prompts. It actually asks you, why are you joining LinkedIn? So if you're searching for a job, if you're a business or, something like that, if you're looking to, to hire somebody and that's what brought you to LinkedIn, they give you tips and strategies on how to build your profile from there. And what I help people do is once you have that profile, to help you be able to optimize it or brand it so that you attract the right amount of attention that you want. So that if you're looking for people to hire, you're attracting people to hire. If you're looking for clients, you're getting clients. If you're looking for jobs, you're getting jobs. Make
Yeah.
sure that you market yourself appropriately for that.
Awesome. And then the next one, and this is just again summary, adding keyword optimization. So you mentioned
Yeah.
that. Tell them
Mm-hmm.
briefly what that summary is for
Yeah, so the three sections of your profile for keyword optimization is that headline. Really, that's going to be the job titles and any value that you offer. So it's 120 characters.
Mhm.
Your job titles. So be cognizant of whether or not your job title is so specific to your industry that people outside of that world don't understand it. So remember, if you have these fantastical titles, right, with your company, and it really is something, because I think my title was officially like talent attraction, something specialist or whatever. It was
Mhm.
a recruiter. So that's what I use on my LinkedIn profile. People know what that is. Most people don't understand what talent acquisition is if they're not in that space. So just make sure that your title translates across industries. And then your skills section, you have 50 skills. It's like you don't have to use them all, but make sure that you're filling in those skills that are relevant to your job target and they truly represent what you've done so that so that you can maximize your search capability. And that's what profile optimization actually is.
Mhm. And then the next one was standing out from the pack, I believe. So that
Mhm.
one, you said, what is something, summary quick about how they can stand out from the pack right now, starting today?
Okay. Yeah. So standing out from the pack is things like having that profile picture look great, having that banner photo, having each section of your profile completed, filling out that about section, maximizing those 2,600 characters that you have available to you for, to be able to tell your story, tell your career story. You use your professional bio if you have to get you started. Most people don't complete those sections. So you just doing that is standing out from the pack.
Awesome. And then there's two more. Um,
Mhm.
increasing your profile visibility. So
And that's for your engagement. Yeah, that's for you engaging and connecting with people. Try to connect with at least 5 to 10 new people a week. And remember, when you're connecting, you're going to use that. Add a note so you can tell them why you're connecting with them. Just so you can, find a common ground with somebody, so it can open the door and make that conversation a little bit easier. Just to make that genuine connection. But that's what that is. You're going to maximize your profile visibility by actually being active, and you're going to appear in more searches.
wow. And then the last one is LinkedIn and your job search. How do people make it a quick thing to use LinkedIn for their job search? A lot of people don't know that LinkedIn is really a good job searching tool.
It is. It is. So by doing all of the things that we've talked about, the profile optimization, the making sure that your headlines are filled out, making sure that you have your profile pictures, making sure that you're talking about explaining your success and things like that. That's going to help you appear in more searches. But you can use your profile to apply for jobs on LinkedIn, because there is a job posting section. You're also going to appear in more searches as recruiters are actively looking for people to fill those opportunities. So that's how you can maximize your job search. Either you're ready to use your profile to be the hunter, or you can be the hunted, where you'll have people come after you and want to hire you. So this is the only time that it's good to be the hunter and the hunted at the same time. So.
Yes. Well, Ashley, I just want to take this time to thank you. And guys, she devoted an hour and some change, because we talked before this started, getting all this troubleshooted before you saw it. But she talked about an hour and some change, about an hour and 30 minutes just to you guys. This is something that Ashley has done for you. She believes in you. I'm going to let her say what her words of encouragement. But Ashley, this is your time. If there's any offers you want to tell anybody who's watching, just especially for them, outside of your consultation calls, or anything that you want to let them know about something you're specially offering, or you have something for them. I try to tell people that, all the people who come on, they are able to tell people about what they do, and people want to talk, how to get in touch with you after.
If you want to get in touch with me to work with me one-on-one, and you can go to rightstepresumes.com. That is in the chat box. If you want to go to rightstepresumes.com, you can schedule an appointment there. You can review packages, my pricing, services, all kinds of stuff there. If you also sign up for my emails on the homepage of my website, you can get a freebie right now. It's 27 ways you are throwing yourself out of a job. So you want to download that freebie. You enter your email address. It's delivered to you right away. And then you can stay in the know when I release information, special offers with coupon codes to my DIY products. Everything is available to you at rightstepresumes.com.
That is awesome. So y'all heard her, rightstepresumes.com. If that's something that you guys need, if you heard all of this and you're like, oh my gosh, or you're going to go listen to the live later, that is what she does. She's your resume, she's your LinkedIn, she's your job search coach. She is Ashley Watkins. So I always like to leave this with some type of inspiration. So you started with a pain point, and I end with a pain point. So I want you to tell people the pain point that made you so passionate about what it is you do. What is that pain point that you want to leave people with? And what is that motivation that you want to tell them if they came here today, truly wanted to make some changes to their LinkedIn profile and job search?
Yeah, so I'm really passionate about helping people who really don't see, they know that they have so much to offer, but they've been knocked down, they've been denied, they've been frustrated because they're not making enough money. They're frustrated because those opportunities seem to be so far out of reach for them. Everybody else is getting these opportunities. Everybody else is getting those job offers and those promotions, but for some reason they just can't get it. I'm applying for these jobs over and over again, and I'm not getting any calls back. Those are the people that I'm passionate about helping. I work with clients from the entry level on up to executive level with resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn profiles. I get down to the bottom of what it is that you have to offer, what value you bring to the table, and help you articulate that in a way that it resonates with your target employer, so you can get more interviews and job offers faster. And not only are you getting job offers, but I'm equipping you with the ability to set yourself up to get those jobs at the salary you deserve, understanding what your market immediate value is teaching you how to research, how to network, how to be a more educated job seeker, so you're not just out there at the mercy of these employers, because you have just as much power in your job search as any employer, any recruiter, any hiring manager has. They need you to say yes the same way that you need them to make that job offer. So nobody has more power than the other person. Know that there is an employer out there right now who is looking for exactly what you have to offer right where you are. It does not matter if you don't have a degree. It doesn't matter if you don't have that certification. You can offer value to an employer with what you have right now. And I work with clients every single day, helping them communicate that value right where they are today. So if this, if you feel like this is resonating with you, you feel like, yes, I've hit on those points, go to rightstepresumes.com. You can schedule a free call with me, or you can download any resources that I have. Follow me on social media at Ashley J. Watkins on LinkedIn and at Right Step Resumes on Facebook and Instagram. I put out a lot of tips, a lot of free information. I would love to connect with you and answer any questions that you have, hear about what it is that you may be struggling with, so I can develop services and products and things like that that can help you out with that. And I just thank you so much for inviting me today, Nina. I appreciate anyone who took the time out of their busy schedule to watch this live video. Again, reach out to me at rightstepresumes.com. I am Ashley Watkins, nationally certified resume writer with Right Step Resumes. I appreciate each one of you. Be inspired, stay healthy, stay well, and reach out to me if you have any questions.
I just had to take myself off so you could just, I was over here dating. I couldn't see me, but I was just raising the roof as you're speaking, because your words, they have such immense value. And it's not about my face, it's not about me, it's about the immense value that you add. And having value is something that does not require a degree or certification. And you hit the nail on the head. So many of us eliminate ourselves based off the fact that we don't have that degree, we don't have that certification.
Right.
Told you from the beginning that she's lost her job, she's been job, knows what it's like to be all those things, and she still found to qualify herself. And you can qualify yourself right now.
Absolutely.
And you can do it without being by yourself, like Ashley and sometimes other people are. Ashley is offering to listen to you for free, y'all, for free. Just listen to you talk about something that you've always wanted to talk about. How many people just offer to listen to you talk about something for free? So take advantage of that. Take advantage of the fact that you have this information today. If you haven't seen the live, when you watch it, I want you to comment and you tag Ashley in that post. She'll be tagged in the live video. She has Right Step Resume in the comments. Go talk to her. She's literally opening up her LinkedIn, her Instagram, everything to you. All you got to do is ask. All you have to do is ask. So thank you for joining the Law Sister Circle talk number 1. This will be one of many to come. But you, Ashley, are a gift, a joy, and I am so happy to have you. Ashe, Selah, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All righty.